What if I told you? One of the greatest basketball players of all time doesn't appear on most people's top 5 lists? What if I told you? The player who won more games than almost anyone in NBA history, the player who led his team to 5 championships, the player who changed how basketball is played, did it without trash talk, without drama, without headlines, without scandals? And because of that, many people forgot how great he truly was. This is the story of Tim Duncan. The quiet one. The calm one. The one who didn't need to shout to dominate. The one they called, before the championships. Before the respect. Before anyone realized what he was becoming. Tim Duncan was just a kid living on a small island called St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He didn't grow up dreaming of the NBA. He didn't grow up studying basketball highlights. He didn't even want to be a basketball player. He wanted to be a swimmer. He trained in the water every day. His dream was to swim in the Olympics. But life is strange. And sometimes, life changes everything in one moment. When Tim was 13, Hurricane Hugo destroyed the island's only Olympic-sized swimming pool. No pool meant no training. No training meant no future in swimming. The water, his dream, simply disappeared. And so, Tim Duncan walked onto a basketball court for the first time. He was tall, but awkward, quiet. No one thought he would be great. No one saw the giant that was growing. No one knew the NBA was about to meet one of its most powerful minds. Tim eventually moved to the United States to play basketball. But even there, he wasn't flashy. He didn't dunk on people. He wasn't loud. He just learned. Every day. Slowly. Silently. And that is where he met the most important coach in his life. Coach Dave Odom at Wake Forest University. Odom saw something others did not. Tim was not just tall. He was patient. He was disciplined. He was intelligent. He didn't rush plays. He didn't force shots. He understood the game like a scientist studying patterns. So while other players tried to be stars, Tim Duncan focused on mastery. And mastery has no age limit. No spotlight. No noise. By the time he finished college, Tim Duncan was the #1 player in the nation. And yet, he still didn't talk about himself. He still didn't brag. He still didn't chase fame. He just played. The San Antonio Spurs had just drafted him in 1997, a team known not for style, but for discipline. And their coach, Greg Popovich, was the perfect match. Both believed in fundamentals. Teamwork, strategy, patience, no ego, no noise. Together they built something basketball had rarely seen. A dynasty built on silence. While other teams chased stars, the Spurs built a system. While other teams tried to be seen, the Spurs tried to win. And Duncan became the foundation. No chest beating. No look at me. No drama. Just greatness. From 1999 to 2014, the Spurs won 5 NBA championships and made the playoffs every single year Tim played. Think about that. Every single year. For nearly 20 years. No superstar in the modern era has done that. Not Jordan. Not Kobe. Not LeBron. Duncan's greatness was not loud. It was consistent. Like waves hitting the shore. Like time passing. Like a quiet storm. And still, people did not talk about him the same way they talked about others. Because he didn't look like greatness. He didn't act like greatness. He didn't sell greatness. He simply was greatness. This is the part most people forget. The NBA is not just sports. It is business. And business loves characters. People like Michael Jordan, fiery and competitive. Kobe Bryant, intense and dramatic. Shaq, powerful and charismatic. LeBron James, global and outspoken. Tim Duncan was none of those things. He was quiet, reserved, calm. He didn't argue with refs. He didn't start fights. He didn't have scandals. He didn't chase the camera. And so, the media didn't know how to market him. No controversy. No drama. No personality story to sell. He was simply good. Too good. Effortlessly good. And so he was forgotten in conversations where he belonged at the very top. Tim Duncan was so good at the basics that people forgot how hard the basics really are. Everyone assumes this simple move is easy until they try to do it. Everyone assumes the bank shot is old until they miss it. Everyone assumes leadership is noise until they stand in silence. Tim Duncan made greatness look ordinary. And because of that, people stopped noticing. But the players noticed. Ask Kobe. Ask LeBron. Ask Kevin Garnett. Ask Dirk. They will all say the same thing. Tim Duncan was one of the greatest to ever do it. Today the NBA loves flash, highlights, social media moments. Heroes and villains, drama and storylines. And so players like Steph Curry, Jokic, Kawhi are sometimes treated the same way Duncan was, appreciated, but not celebrated loudly. Because greatness without showmanship doesn't fit the story the league wants to sell. But history remembers differently. History remembers Tim Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, champions, leaders, thinkers, winners, not performers. Greatness doesn't always shout. Sometimes the strongest presence is the quiet one. The true masters make hard things look easy. If it looks simple, it means someone worked very, very hard. Legacy is not built in moments, but in consistency. Winning once is luck. Winning for 20 years is greatness. Tim Duncan didn't need to be loud. He didn't need to be flashy. He didn't need the spotlight. He let his game speak, softly, but clearly. And the world is still learning how to listen. If you want more stories like this, the stories behind the highlights, subscribe to the channel. Because here, we don't just watch basketball. We understand it.